Okay.
Connectra creates opportunities for people living with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, Connect Together, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative, Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobbie Seale-Cobiskey, Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson, Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff, and other initiatives including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series. Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at Connectra Society.
Okay, we'll make you spotlight and then you can start.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, so good afternoon, good day, depending, I suppose, on where you're tuning in from. So good day and welcome to a adapted chair yoga practice. And so today's class, even though there are ways that we can practice yoga, chair yoga from a perspective where we can stand and use it, perhaps use the chair for balance. I'd like to be clear that today's class will be seated only. And so I think that you will be delighted, for those of you who are new to the class, maybe checking it out for the first few times or time, to discover how much we can actually do practice seated in the chair. And so on that happy note, I'd like to, as always, set the intention to begin the yoga practice by finding a comfortable sitting position. So an invitation to sit in a way that feels the most at ease for you. And so it can be challenging to for our nervous system to calm down if we're uncomfortable in our bodies. And so taking those first few moments at the beginning of the class to center and ground. So an invitation now, if you'd like, and it's available to you, to bring your hands to your heart center, your chest. Or if this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance in any way, choose another placement for your hands. And we never forfeit balance to come into a poser movement. So might be alternatively the placing your hands on your belly, by your side, on your lap. So wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then it's ready to maybe soften your gaze. So soft gaze downwards in front of you. Or perhaps closing your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And an invitation to take a moment to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. So setting aside whatever was going on for you before the yoga class for the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. When it's ready, relax your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then an invitation to bring your hands in front of you. So your hands can be as high or low as feels comfortable for you. And then reaching up to the sky. So up to the ceiling if you like. And we can imagine that we are waving to our ancestors. So past, present, and future. And then coming forward a little, waving to our ancestors. So often Uncle George, my dog Bubbles come to mind. And then reaching up one more time as high as feels comfortable for you. And then just like you're shaking water off your hands, an invitation to relax your arms down by your side. Rest your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And 2, bring gentle awareness to your breath. So checking in, noticing is your breath long or smooth or jagged. So no judgment. So it's an alternative to bringing your awareness to the breath. You're taking your awareness to the soundscape, to your soundscape. So maybe noticing the sound that's the furthest away to begin with. And then gently bringing your awareness to the sounds closest to you. And then to the sounds around. So thirdly, as an alternative, so I always like to offer 2 or 3 alternatives. So it's not one size fits all. So it might be that bringing a gentle awareness to a sense of gravity. So gravity pushing you down to the earth, line our shoulders, soften away from our ears. And so I can hear the sound of summertime. So off a little ways down. The house is down for me, music playing in the background. You can hear my neighbors, workmen, working on their summer home. Memory. And I can hear the gentle sound of the bird song that surrounds me on this lovely summer day. And so if your eyes are closed, gently blink your eyes open. And then maybe take a moment again to look around the space, look at the space around you. So maybe naming 3 objects in your home or outdoors. So yoga meets us right where we are. 2, 3. Notice your breath. And then an invitation to do a little bum dance. Okay. So let's moving on. Ground. I'd like to invite you to ground down through your sits bones. So maybe noticing where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Our belly is soft. Lengthen your spine. And so did you know that we're actually tallest in the morning and that we can create space between our vertebrae, sitting up nice and tall. Lift your shoulders up, back and down. Those soft, organic movements. Again, relax your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. So it might be on your lap, by your side. And then an invitation to tuck your chin in slightly. So if it's works for you, you can imagine a turtle. And so exploring, if possible, how it feels to have your chin parallel to the earth on the floor. Tuck in. And then when you're ready, if you feel like, closing your eyes here softly, or soften your gaze. And then an invitation to bring your awareness to the alignment of your knees, hips, ankles, shoulders over hips. So I'd like to encourage you today to, whenever possible, to bring your awareness back to a lovely sense that our practice is like that first lovely stretch or yawn or whatever it is in the morning when you wake up, but like your movements and your breath, poses to feel like that. So you can set an intention for that. So intention, powerful practice when practice is serving. And so from here, ground through your feet, centering ground through the soles of your feet. We want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. Root down through your sits bones. So the bones we sit on. And maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. If it's helpful, you can pull the bum flesh away from your sits bones or do a little bum dance. Our belly is soft, spine is long. Lift your shoulders up, back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release your neck. If that works for you, feels good. And so from here, I'd like to come into practice of mindful movement. So warming up. And so I'd like to begin with offering a practice where we begin with our eyes. And so when you're ready, an invitation to look up towards the sky, so towards your ceiling if you're indoors, and then look downwards. A soft gaze somewhere on the floor in front of you, the earth, and looking up and looking downwards. So moving with the breath or however it feels most comfortable for you. Inhale, look up. So maybe our eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall. And then looking downwards. Inhale, look up. Exhale, looking downwards. And then if you like, and it's available to you, adding gentle movements, neck movements, so warming up the cervical area of our spine. And so if for whatever reason the movements create discomfort, I'd like to invite you to explore visualizing the movement. Well, imagination is powerful, and sometimes even more powerful than the actual physical bodily movement. And so don't take my word for it. Investigate, notice how you feel. And so it's ready. Inhale, gently adding the neck movement to the eye movements, looking up. And then gently chin moving towards chest, your heart center. Inhale, look up. Exhale, looking downwards. And then it's ready, bring your head back to neutral. So it is center. And then I'd like to invite you to bring your ear, one ear towards your shoulder. I'm going to move all this hair away. Somebody suggested I should not tie my hair back while I teach. However, that said, depending on the day, it can be a distraction. So important that you are able to, it's important to me that you're able to understand what I'm sharing with you. And so I'll be as clear as possible. And so take your ear towards your shoulder. And then moving back and forth. So from side to side, gentle movements. Is your belly soft, your breath quiet? And it's ready, bring your head back to center. So let's be back at center. And now I'd like to invite you to turn a soft gaze, if it feels okay for your neck, otherwise visualizing the movement. Imagination is powerful. So turn a soft gaze, looking just past your shoulder. You're only going as far as feels comfortable for you. Pause. And then when you're ready, turn your head from side to side. Shoulder to shoulder. So as if we're nodding no. Soft belly, quiet breath. And bringing your head back to center when you're ready. So because most folks are living at home these days, there's a lot of practices, there's amazing stuff going on. Not only on a local level, but globally in the community. So whatever communities we tend to want to align ourselves with, there's lots available online. So one of the silver linings of the pandemic. And so here we are. I'm in my home on half an acre, blessed. I can hear one of my favorite things, which are the roosters, neighbors' roosters in the background, dogs and deer. And I've only seen a few bears so far, but wherever you are, whether it's an urban setting, your home, city, or in country, know that you are welcome. And so I'd like to share with you that from Connector and my perspective as a yoga teacher, therapist, adaptive, then if you feel a need to keep your video turned off or on, that's your choice. It's nice for me to be able to see a few people every now and then to kind of help guide me and guiding you. However, it's not absolutely necessary for sure. I've been teaching for a while. The other thing I'd like to share is that if you need to leave the space, the class for any reason to take care of yourself, I encourage you to do so. I trust, I know that you're not going to be disruptive. And so feel free to sign in again or not. That said, there is a timeline in term for those of you who are aware in terms of the shut up time for joining the class, just to keep disturbances, and just to keep things flowing. So after the first 10, 15, or 20 minutes, the class will be closed for joining live. However, it can be viewed on YouTube and Facebook with a recording afterwards. So if you miss it, no big deal. There it is, available, and it's free. Thank you to Connector and the Disability Foundation. Anyway, enough chatter. Let's get moving. So I'd like to invite you now to repost. So make sure that your feet are firmly planted on the earth or on your pedals / rest. Sits bones are sharp on the chair. Lengthen your spine, lift your shoulders up, back and down. If possible, tuck your chin in slightly. And then from here, when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to reach your arm up to the sky. And so skyward, so as high as feels comfortable for you. And then slowly float your arm down. And so we'll practice this gentle movement 3 more times, same side. If you're blessed with a yoga buddy that can help guide the movements and do the work, that's always a lovely option. So reaching up to the sky as high as feels comfortable for you. And then slowly float your arm down. So this time I'd like to introduce linking your breath with the movement. And so if linking your breath with the movement works for you, lovely. If not, if you have congestion or some kind of obstruction, breath-wise, breathe whatever way you can. And so here we go. And inhale, reaching up to the sky. Full length of your inhale. So I feel good with my arm up fairly high today. Maybe yours is lower. And then slowly on an exhale, float your arm down. So gentle movement on inhale, reaching up to the sky. So it's as if on the inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and so relax your arms by your side or on your lap, wherever feels most comfortable for you. Take a moment, notice how you feel. And then, so checking in, how's the breath, noticing you need to kind of set yourself up a little better to feel comfortable. In other words, stable in your chair. And so other side, other arm, reaching up to the sky. So it might be guidance from yoga buddy. And then slowly float your arm down. So gentle movement, reaching up as high as feels comfortable for you. And slowly float your arm down. So it's as if on our inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and so one more time. It's for shits and giggles. I've lost count. I think we're good. If it feels okay for you, reaching up one more time. And then slowly float your arm down. So relax your arms down by your side or on your lap, wherever feels most comfortable for you. Take a moment, notice how you feel. I'm just going to take a little step. And there's some dental stuff going on, and it helps to sip a bit on liquid. So this time, arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. And open up your armpits, get bigger in space. Rotate your palms down, so thumbs down towards the earth, maybe away from you a little bit. Palms up, palms down. And maybe noticing which feels better for you, palms face up or palms face down. And then it's ready, release your arms, shake out. And so next I'd like to introduce raising both arms up. And so know that it's not about forcing one limb to do what the other is doing. You just want them talking to each other. And so of course, Feet are on the earth. Sits more sharp on the chair. Spine long. Lift your shoulders up, back, and down. And so from here, I'd like to invite you to reach both arms up as high as feels comfortable for you. Maybe take a look at your palms. Notice if they're facing each other, if it doesn't create tension in your neck. And then return your gaze on the horizon. So it is not about forcing one limb to do what the other is doing. We just want some tension. When it's ready, release your arms down. And a little shake. Cool. So today, I'd like to introduce a little piece of writing, which my hope is that it's inspiring for you. And of course, one of my favorite things is to read. And I don't really have the time or the energy or the wherewithal to read novels, big books, or whatever. And there are big books out there that I like to read eventually. However, so today the read, and I'm just going to move into my iPad a little bit, and I'm hoping that you can all see this little guy. So this is an otter, and the otter today, playful in the water, is reminding me to, and I'm going to see if I can put you on gallery view now that I'm here. Who's there? Oh, Marnie, I see you. Okay, so here we are. My friend the otter. And so depending on what part of the country you are, world, you may have otters or not. However, I'm sure that they're kin to otters that have mirror the same thing. So anyway, here we go. So the sea otter, the intention by the artist that created this and the piece of writing, is inviting us to explore curiosity, play, and creativity. Curiosity, play, and creativity. And so if yoga didn't include those three elements, I wouldn't be here today. I have zero tolerance for boredom. And so, and I'm quite immature. And so much of the time still work in progress. Yeah. So I know no one can relate to that. So, so this is from Messengers from the Great Bear Oracle cards. And I'm just going to come in a little bit closer because I want to make sure that you can hear this. So it's a little more about the otter and what it represents. And you can interpret this, of course, any way you'd like. This is your yoga practice. So here we go. If sea otter swam into your cards today, so this is representative of cards, they may be asking you to lighten up, to go outside and awaken your sense of play. Otter is full of curiosity and creativity. Otters are, pardon me, they want you to find what lights you up and to lighten up in general. Perhaps life has gotten a bit too serious lately. Have you forgotten that life is meant to be lived? And so certainly that was the message for me this morning, that, you know, hope to, if this works for you, to pass on. So anyway, this little creature is often seen playing with others and always stays very close to their young cubs. Relate this act of caring for your cub as you would to caring for an idea or your inner child. Get curious about what lights you up and why. Otter energy brings creativity into life and guides you to just have some fun with it. By cultivating our inner child, we can reawaken our sense of curiosity and play. So contrary to Otter, suggests that too much creative output has left you restless and ungrounded. As your boundless creativity gets the best of you, perhaps it's time to take a step back and dedicate yourself to one project and see it through to the end, rather than just starting another and another. Ooh, and so I'm going to set that aside for now. And kind of with that in mind, so play, creativity, I'd like to introduce sound as a way to minimize pain. And so in yoga, we don't separate body, mind. Whatever affects our body affects our mind. Whatever affects our mind affects our body. So I was re-gifted an ocean drum just days ago by one of my teachers who is downsizing. She happens to be Métis and a very close friend of mine. And this is called an ocean drum. So I'm going to go pick it up. And I'll just come in a little closer with it. So some of you are aware that I am a forest therapy guide in training. And so wanting to bring as much of nature into the program, which has been my intention for it's just the way I am in life anyways. This is my forest home, but this is my drum that was re-gifted to me. I don't know if you can see that, but on one side it looks like clouds to me. And then, so the intention really is sound. And so I'm just going to do just a little, we'll see how it translates. If it does, great. If not, we can always revisit. You can imagine the ocean if you'd like. If that works for you. Maybe a river. Stream. So the flow of water. So I can see the sound is, I'm going to have to wait for now. Some of you are giving me that feedback. But what I love about this drum is that, hey, I can hold on to it and not worry about falling on my keister. So in my mind, this is fairly accessible. So anyway, we'll see. And so we'll get started again. So moving forward, so I'd like you to think of me as a DJ and you turn me up or down, whatever works for you. And so know that you are the world expert on your body. And so trusting that you're all taking good care. So one of the first principles of yoga is non-harming. Body, mind, and spirit. So it begins at home. And so let's repose. Ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. Lengthen your spine. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. Soften your gaze, or maybe closing your eyes softly as we transition into a movement where I'd like you to imagine that your arms are like seaweed. So seaweed at the bottom of the ocean. So the seaweed is making its way up to the light. And so stretch into the stretch. Get bigger in space. We tend to shrink. And so if it works, if you'd rather, you can imagine a river. And I think it's called seagrass, even though it's a river, but the flow of the grass that you can see the surface or not, or know that it's there. And so I'd like to invite you to bring a gentle awareness to your breath. Notice how it feels to link your breath with your movements. And so, and it can be helpful to close your eyes as we practice this gentle movement. And then an invitation to notice where your body is talking to you. And if it works for you, to send your breath there. And so breath is a very important part of our life force. And so, of course, send our breath to that area. That can help release tension, stiffness, maybe helping to minimize pain. And then I'd like you to bring your awareness to where in your body it feels like there's not so much energy moving through. And take your awareness, your breath to that area. So all the more important to breathe into those areas where there maybe isn't as much sensation. Doesn't feel like there's as much energy moving through. So we don't only breathe into the areas of muscles that we can flex and move. Take your breath, your energy. So energy flows wherever our breath flows, goes in those areas maybe we can't feel. And then finally, just finishing up wherever your body is still talking to you. And then slowly come back to stillness. And relax your arms in your lap or down by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And an invitation to take a moment to notice any sensations. Subtle sensations. How's your breath? Well, trust that the sensations are there. It might not be a rocket ship across the sky. Definitely won't be a rocket ship across the sky. Can you name the sensation? So opening up our senses, maybe noticing. Is it a sense of energy, maybe a little more energy than what you're feeling at the beginning of the class? Maybe it's fatigue. Maybe it's an energy on the flow. Are you feeling along your spine that you didn't feel earlier? And so no judgment. Yoga meets us, and this is a promise. It makes me want to cry. Exactly where we are. So know that you can take your practice with you wherever you are. So at the bus stop, on the SkyTrain, you're blessed in being able to travel, especially chair yoga. So anyway, most of us are sitting sitting at some point or another. And so here we go. So wiggly fidgets. Be creative. Right? So woohoo. Just make sure that there isn't anyone around you that you're gonna whack. That yeah. And Also, any hard surfaces, right? You don't want to hit your hand on something that doesn't have any give. And so, good. Okay. So I'm just going to take a look at the time. I am going to put my watch back on. I have a tendency to go over a little bit, and I don't want to do that. I really would like to honor those of you who showed up and within the timeline. I mean, we're all busy with our lives. And so I will offer a few moments after the class to have a conversation. If you'd like to hang out with me for a little bit, that'd be great. Kassar, my tech coach, will help facilitate that. And so here we go. So moving on. Just taking a moment myself to ground. And so yeah, so I would really like us to move through all the joints today. And so sometimes in chair yoga, there tends to be an overly amount of focus on the upper body. And so I'd like to make sure that we're moving through all the joints. And I think in terms of holistic body, mind, and spirit. And so whatever affects our mind, our body affects our mind, and vice versa. So here we go. So let's repose. So ground, or actually sit up nice and tall. So mountain pose. We're going to ground down through our feet. And so push down through one foot, push down to the opposite foot. Maybe notice, can you feel one foot more than the other? So as human beings, we tend to be tighter on one side. So just noticing. Maybe. Ground down through your sits bones, lengthen your spine, shoulders up, back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of the neck. Imagine a turtle. Works for you. And then from here, I'd like to invite you to bring one arm out to the side. So work towards your 50 or your, I'd like you to work, if possible, at about your 50%. And then turn your palm face up, soft bending your elbow, palm face down. Notice which feels better for you, palm down or palm up. And then maybe reaching your arm up a little higher. And then palm face down. I'd like you to imagine you're moving your hand through water, your arm. And so begin again, other side, reach your arm, extend your arm out to the side, spiral your palm open. Up, soft, bending your elbow, working at your 50%. And then maybe if you'd like, reaching up a little higher. Palm face down. So imagine you're moving your hand through golden honey. Now both arms by your side if you'd like, and that's available to you. Soft bending your elbows, nothing rigid. Take your hands to your heart center. Pausing, taking a moment to tuck your chin in slightly. Release your neck. And so if this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. So it might be your Buddha belly. And so let's arms by our sides, spiral your palms open. Chin in slightly, ground through your feet, so mountain pose. Then maybe taking our hand to our heart center, Buddha belly, and then reaching up to the sky. So gentle back arch. So bend from your shoulder blades. Take a look between your palms if it doesn't create tension in your neck. And then maybe bringing our hands together. It might be one hand, hands together, bowing our head towards our heart. Bring your hands down through to your heart center. And so when we bow our head towards our heart center, it gives us a little nerve flossing for our neck. So let's practice this one more time. So yoga is a practice. Ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. Take your hands to your heart center if you like, your Buddha belly, reaching up to the sky, gentle back arch. And maybe our hands come together in prayer. So it might be one hand, both hands, whatever you'd like to do with your hands. So hands are connected to the heart. And then place one hand on your belly, the other on your heart center, your chest. And so again, if you have a yoga buddy, sometimes it can be helpful to do this together. So your partner could place your hands or your fingers, something, a gentle touch. It brings the awareness to your abdomen and chest. And take a moment to allow your breath to settle. So to rest. And then I'd like to invite you, when you're ready, to come seated back in your chair comfortably. We're going to come down off the mountain. And so I'd like to transition into a short guided meditation woven into your final relaxation, which is the dessert part of the program. And so my teachers taught me, and I heard them loud and clear, and I've had amazing teachers for years, that the two really most challenging poses to practice are mountain pose and the final relaxation piece. And so maybe something to ponder next time we get together, and I'll bring the answer to you. But in the meantime, as promised, I want to make sure that you can take off when you're ready. So I'm just going to put a little something around my neck that was gifted to me that's quite colorful. My feet are cold. And I just happened to bring a yoga mat with me rolled up. So I'm going to place that on the ground. And so get whatever you need to set yourself up comfortably. And so this is a cheap, really old yoga mat that's been kicking around forever that works for me. It might work for you as well. So feet on the ground, feet on the earth. And so the meditation I'd like to share with you is by Thich Nhat Hanh. And I consider it with huge respect my yoga buddy and inspiration. Through the years, he, in my mind and heart, is one of the most benevolent, kind, loving human beings that ever lived. And so I learned this meditation from studying his lovely offerings. And so find a comfortable sitting position, sit in a way that you feel most at ease, that feels comfortable. Close your eyes softly, looking downwards, or soften your gaze. And so if it feels okay to remove your glasses, please do. If your hair is tied back, remove the elastic. And so breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I release. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. knowing that this moment is a wonderful moment. And so we'll just sit and hang out and breathe together for a few moments with a gentle reminder. So maybe imagining or feeling a gentle breeze flowing, breeze touching your skin, or hearing the sound of a gentle breeze in the leaves and the trees around you. Or it might be the softness of a plant, a flower, that brings you into this moment. And so breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is an awesome moment, wonderful moment. And so, an invitation now, if your eyes are closed, to count to 3, or maybe 3 breaths, deepening your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Coming back seated up to finish up our yoga practice today. So if when your eyes are open, if it's helpful, take a look around your space, your beautiful home, wherever you are. Name 3 things. And then with that, my otter friend and I, sea otter, wish you a day of moments in your day of curiosity, play, and creativity. And so I don't want to keep you any longer. Thank you for the privilege of being here and sharing this lovely gift from India to the world. Kausar, my tech host, has been my friend and guide forever, it seems like now, thankfully. And Connector and the Disability Foundation, thank you from the bottom of my heart for providing this opportunity for us to hang out together. So those of you who are leaving, until we meet again, hopefully it'll be soon, online or in person. You never know when we'll stumble into each other. And so be well. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thank you, Marnie. You too, love. I'm just going to come in, bring the iPad to me a little closer so I can see.
Cindy saying bye. All right. Enjoy the day.
Yeah, Bella. You too. Okay, so if there's any conversation at all, I'm a little self-conscious about my mouth right now, so I don't have a mouth guard, and I don't want to spit on my, it sounds gross, on my iPad. Anyway, yeah, so just curious, we'll hang out for a little bit. Otherwise, respectfully, playfully, creatively, visibly, I will say till we meet you again. Okay. Take care, everyone.
I will see you guys next week.
Yeah, right on, concert.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, love bug.